Andy Farrell and Ireland face a huge task with regards to selections in the front row. Jack Boyle going down this weekend, adding to the long list of injuries for loose heads for Ireland. So that is Jack Boyle, Andrew Porter and Paddy McCarthy, who steps in the front row. And then I also think the layout of the bench against France is going to be a huge part of the game and how Ireland could benefit from this little change to their bench, especially when you're talking about the physicality that France's forward pack impose throughout the whole game. Here's my predicted Irish matchday 23 to take on France in the first round of the Six Nations. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if you can see how excited I am. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for the Six Nations this year. We're mainly covering Ireland and England, but we'll see how we go. Let me know in the comments what changes you would make. What do I know about Irish rugby? What do I know about any rugby? I want to hear from you. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. All right, we're just jumping straight into it. Obviously, there's a ton of question marks, especially in the front row for Ireland because of the long list of injuries. But when there's injuries, it gives opportunity to that next man up. Here's my matchday 23 for that first game versus France. So Jeremy Loughlin, Dan Sheehan, Tadhg Furlong up front. Joe McCarthy, Tadhg Byrne, the locks. Then Jack Conan, Josh Van der Fleer, Caelan Doris, back row. Caelan Doris, obviously captain. Jamison Gibson Park, Sam Prendergast, 9 and 10. Then I've got Stuart McCloskey and Gary Ringrose in the centres, and back three of James Lowe, Tommy O'Brien, and Hugo Keenan. Asterix, if he's fit enough. Okay? On my bench, I've got Tom Stewart, Michael Milne, Finlay Bealham, Edwin Adogbo, Nick Timoney, Cian Prendergast, Craig Casey, and Kieran Frawley. As you can see, a 6-2 split there, and when I get to it, I'll explain some of my reasons why. Before you jump down my throat, it's another South African talking about 6-2 split. This isn't about copying people. This is about adapting to how rugby is being played at the moment and how important it is to have a strong forward pack throughout the 80 minutes. Guys that can come on and not only keep that same intensity, but lift it and add that extra punch off the bench. And games, we all know games are one up front. All right? You can't expect your starting lineup of forwards to keep that intensity throughout the full 80 minutes. And yes, there is risk with it, but you've got someone like Kieran Frawley who can, pretty much cover the whole back line. Like, I think the reward outweighs the risk here, but we'll get to that. All right, up front, some of the reasons why. Up front, Jeremy Loughlin, Tadhg Furlong, Dan Sheehan. So Tadhg Furlong, Dan Sheehan, I think that goes without saying. They're in there, using them, you're picking them. Like Furlong has been one of the best for a while for Ireland at tight head. I'm getting better at my loose head and tight head, guy. This is coming from someone who's played fly off his whole life, and I don't understand anything about the front row, okay? Tadhg Furlong has been a really good tight head for Ireland for a long time. Dan Sheehan, one of the best hookers in world rugby. You're picking him, okay? Jeremy Loughlin, right? So Jack Boyle was going to be there because Andrew Porter and Paddy McCarthy out injured. And then the weekend, when I saw he was starting for Leinster, I was like, what's happening here? There's a crisis at loosehead for Ireland. Why are we playing this guy? And he goes and injures himself. The chances of him getting injured, right, were like, yes, minimal. But man, that's just like, you're sitting there like, of course he was going to get injured because there's that many injuries in that position already. Why did they play him? Anyway, Jeremy Loughlin, I think, comes in. Over 100 caps for Munster. He's only played, I think, 5 caps for Ireland. But when you've been playing first-class rugby for that long, the step up, I'm not going to try and underestimate that step up because it's huge. Against France as well, Six Nations, it's massive, right? But when it comes down to the technique of scrumming and reps that he's put in, man, he's put the reps in. Over 100 games for Munster, like I said. like next man up. Let's see what you can do. And then on the bench, obviously Milne, I think he's played over 50 games between Leinster and Munster, and then only a handful of games for Ireland as well. But again, that's just one of those like next up. Let's see what you can do. While injuries, yes, it's a shit go, but it gives opportunity for the next guys. So they'll come in there and I'm sure they'll give it, 110%. I've got Tom Stewart on the bench because Ronan Gallagher, right, is safe. Okay, he's going to nail his core roles or jobs as a hooker, but I think you want a little bit more than just that. So Tom Stewart brings that with ball carries and efforts around the park. I think he nails his roles as a hooker, but then brings that little bit of X factor out on the wings, out on the edges when he carries the ball. And Finlay Bealham goes without saying. He covers nicely off the bench there. My locks are gone with Joe McCarthy, Tyke Byrne. Joe McCarthy is your physical. He's your leading from the front, like enforcer. Gets through a ton of work as well. Good line-out option, good ball carrier. He's your man there. Tyke Byrne, also great at line-outs. Very important for Ireland because he's that extra back rower because he can cover back row as well. Man, bosses the line-outs and just been one of the best for Ireland forever. And I think he gets his spot there. I've left James Ryan out because in these big games, you don't want someone to lose their cool and get a yellow card or give away unnecessary penalties. So I've left James Ryan out. On the bench, I've got a Dogbo. Like, a player's in form, exciting, strong ball carrier. He would be frothing at the mouth to play. Get him in there. Play him. If not on the bench, start the fella. I'm a big believer in if you're playing well, form, play. Because confidence is sky high. Let him play. All right, my back row. Jack Conan, Josh van der Fleer, Caelan Doris. Good makeup of the back row there. You've got absolute work horses and second efforts in van der Fleer and Caelan Doris. Caelan Doris obviously bringing that leadership. As captain, Jack Conan doing the exact same, but he also brings then the grunt of carrying the ball, getting advantage line. It's the basis of winning rugby games is getting over the advantage line and stopping the opposition from getting over the advantage line. Jack Conan on both sides of the ball brings you that. So I've got him in at 6. And then on the bench, because I've gone with a 6-2, you can bring on Timoney, you can bring on Cian Prendergast. And like that, when I talk about intensity later on in the game, not only matching it, but lifting it up a level, I feel like those guys can come on the field and do that. And you're going to come up against a French side, while they've got exciting backs, are also very set piece and forward dominated. They will probably run a 6-2 split. They've done it before. They've got the cattle to do it. And like I said, games are won up front. France believe that they nail their set piece, get good go forward ball with the forwards. Jalibert, Louis Bielbiere, Thomas Ramos, they can just cause chaos in the back line. So match fire with fire. You're not copying anyone. You're sending your own snake down the snake hole. Okay, you're not luring that snake out with a rabbit or with bait. Send your own snake down there. All right, also another big talking point, 9 and 10. So I've gone Gibson Park and Sam Prendergast. The 9 is probably not your biggest talking point. The 10 is. Crowley is an option there. Obviously, Harry Byrne is an option there. But I think Sam Prendergast's ability to set their attacking up, so linking backs and forwards, his decision-making right up at the line, his option-taking in that regard, really good as well. Yes, a lot of people talk about his defense, but I saw an Irish fella comment, he might have been a Munster fan. Or no, he might have not have been. I'm not sure. Anyway, he commented and saying, back in the day when Ronan O'Gara was allowing players to just run through him, no one questioned him then. Yes, now I'm not trying to compare O'Gara to Prendergast because O'Gara was one of rugby's best. But it's kind of similar. Like, how can you let him go there, but then everyone's giving Prendergast shit? I will say he has definitely upped his defense, technique-wise, and just putting your body on the line. But his ability to open up their attacking play, his decision-making, his kicking is getting a lot better out of hand. Off the tee, still working with it. but it's something to work on. I've gone with Prendergast because I feel like his ceiling is so much higher and you really need to back him in over the other 10s. Centers, Stuart McCloskey, Gary Ringrose. I think Gary Ringrose gets the nod at 13. Defensively outstanding. Yes, attacking offers a lot as well. Good, strong, hard running. Then McCloskey, that every time he got opportunity or he gets opportunity to start for Ireland at 12, he's been unreal. He's gaining advantage line with ball in hand. It's on par with Bundy Aki, but then I feel like he offers more with regards to like second efforts, agility-wise, so defensively, like laterally, he offers a bit more. Just hope he stays injury-free because he always goes on, plays a stormer, then gets injured and then doesn't get opportunity. But I'm backing those two centers to get the jump here. Then my back three, James Lowe, Tommy O'Brien, Hugo Keenan. So Hugo Keenan is an asterisk next to it, whether he's fit or not. Jamie Osborne is an option, whether he's fit or not. Kieran Frawley is an option, whether he's fit or not. Then my other question mark is probably around James Lowe. Like, I question why he's even in the squad, but now that he is there, I know exactly why, right? He obviously brings the leadership. He is a big game player, which I don't think you can use as a reason why you would pick someone all the time. Like, for how long is he going to be a big game player? Next year when he's 34, 35, is he still a big game player? Like, Peter O'Mahony, who's retired, he's also, Connor Murray, they're also big game players, but like, they're old and they're gone. I do think James Lowe probably still has a bit to offer, but a big question mark around that one as well. Got the big left boot, so it does help with exiting. So that does help. Tommy O'Brien, he's my slippery fish or fish out of water in contact. Good luck trying to tackle him. Always beats one or two defenders. He is a pocket rocket. It's dynamite because he's just everywhere on the field, pops up in the midfield, creates the overlaps, gets through a ton of work as well. So he comes in at 14 there. And then, like I said, so I've got Craig Casey, Kieran Frawley make up the two bench players. Kieran Frawley covers 10, can cover centre, fullback. It makes sense, right? The risk, obviously, is if two backs get injured, then you're like, oh, shit. But the reward is having that extra forward that can come on later in the game that can match the intensity or match France's intensity and then take it up a notch. And that's how games are won. Like it or not, games are won up front with intensity, with nailing your set piece, and with getting over that advantage line and stopping the opposition from getting over that advantage line. So that's my reasons. Irish fans would love to hear what you guys think. Massive, just the injuries, just everything about it. But Andy Farrell is in. Obviously would back him with whatever selections he makes. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.